Hey, it's recording. Introduce the podcast.
Hello to everyone,
Speak,
to the non-binaries, to the trans people,
speak a bit more.
and to that idiot George.
That's the fucking moron.
Yes.
Fuck you, George.
So, we'll be beginning today's podcast on a simple topic. Neurotypicals, and why we hate them.
Aren't we going to introduce each other?
Yes.
I am
I'm
Alex.
sorry, I was taken aback by my hatred for neurotypicals. We have Alex.
I am Alex. I'm autistic and bisexual and single.
Just laying it out there. Ladies, leave your number.
Gentlemen. Only 5-inch though, you know, it's...
His number is on the description.
Don't worry, ladies, you can buy a strap.
We have?
We have Cesar, me. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. I'm straight, I have a girlfriend, and I'm a moron. And a stupid person. And then we have today's guest.
Hello, I'm Kermit. Kidding. The name is Jesus. Let's just go by that for now. I am non-binary. I am bisexual. I have ADHD and autism.
Depression?
And, yes, but that's
Everybody has depression nowadays.
that's already part of the deal.
Yeah, the
Oh.
world's miserable.
Having ADHD and autism, and I have been on a very interesting self-discovery journey, and for now that's it.
Yeah, boy, you should have less water. You're going on a self-discovering journey just because you're drinking some water?
No, I'm going on a self-discovery journey to be able to scream like those metal heads in those cool bands.
Oi, say that with confidence. Be proud of yourself.
I'm going to be able to do fucking death metal growls like my
How are you?
favorite musicians. I fucking had a brain fart there. Sorry.
In case you're wondering, this man, who's going by the name of Jesus, has a wonderful...
Person.
Yes, sorry. Person, not man.
Introduce
Has wonderfully long hair,
How?
a full-grown out beard, who's trimmed beautifully, actually.
Thank you.
And a body that could only be described as very well built, with a little dampening and cushioning.
It's a dad bod.
It's a good dad bod. It doesn't have the beer belly.
a kinky that pod.
Hey, if you're looking for a bear,
There's
Yeah.
more
Ah, yeah,
people
yeah.
on the table. Let
Exactly.
them introduce themselves.
I don't know if they're willing to join. Would you?
I am.
I am. Introduce yourself.
You are?
I am. No one. Okay.
Can you talk about
Okay, no one.
What?
Okay, no one.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm inviting back.
I am a metalhead and a guitarist.
Cool.
Yay.
Are you neurotypical?
Maybe not. Maybe yes. Who knows?
That's a big mystery.
Exactly. You have a nose piercing. You're not neurotypical.
I'm pretty sure that's not a tool used
I mean-
to
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Do what? Do what?
diagnose people.
I'm not an expert at diagnosis.
Oh, that's I also have Asperger's.
neurotypicals?
Uh,
Exactly.
They have very stiff hands. They apparently can't properly process and follow along erratic train thoughts, which makes them just simply inferior if you think about it. So really, neurotypicals shouldn't be thought of like, oh, they're great people, everyone else sucks. No, they suck. They just happen to be the majority.
Yeah,
But
those fuckers.
Can you describe neurotypical by being normal people, like
Yeah, in fact,
people with not
basic,
any mental problems that don't struggle with life that much? Like that?
kinda, basically.
Yeah, kinda.
in a way, they don't struggle with life because
Their environment is
why-
catered to them.
because society
Because
life,
it's what expected.
yeah, it's built for them. Most almost exclusively. Just talking about people that have photosensitivity. Bright lights fuck them up. Neurotypicals usually don't have photosensitivity as well, and so they can work in a fucking 5x5 cubicle, looking at a screen all day, typing away at a spreadsheet with blinking neon lights above them, and they're fine after 12 hours. Other people, neurodivergent people, can't do that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't put a neurotypical person cleaning a horrible environment, because it smells bad and whatnot. But you know what? If that was the society that they were expected to work in, they would struggle. Almost like a neurodivergent person does in an environment that's not suited or built for them.
Is an environment that is actually more often than not hostile to neurodivergent people.
Be it purposefully
Yeah,
or
accidentally.
by sheer ignorance. They just suck generally.
It's, in a weird comparison, it's like having someone on a wheelchair working on a building without ramp access or just elevators, just stairs.
Imagine if there was a type of illness where people were born with massive arm strength, and instead of ladders, every building was just equipped with a rope you were meant to climb. Normal people would struggle, incredibly so. And despite being normal-ish, or normal as in what society expects currently, they would be ostracized and considered out of the ordinary in that environment.
So, does anyone have any experience? In fact, neurotypical people. That's like a great example of what we are saying.
Would you like to talk about that girl who went to pester you?
Oh,
While you were standing by yourself, because
Yeah.
hey, don't leave someone alone.
yeah. So, like, I was in 10th grade. I don't know what that translates to into like American or other schools. I didn't have any friends at that school except for one, and he was in another class. So sometimes I would not see him for like a day, because like he had class when I didn't have class, and I had class when he had class, and so I would spend my time alone. That was the very big issue. But one time I was on my phone, like just sitting down on my phone watching some funny videos, and this female comes to me and it's like, "Hey, why are you so sad?" I look at her and I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm not sad. I'm just chilling, watching my video." And she goes, "Oh, if you're alone and all that, blah blah, I can just like I can stay with you or some shit." It's like, no, I don't. Like, I'm okay being here. I don't really need any, but I can even if you want, okay, but you know, like whatever. And then she went, "Hey, do you want to like meet some girls or something?" I think it was like that. Like, want to meet some girls or something. Like, are you alone? I can hook you up. And like, I'm bisexual, but the thing about being bi, at least in the beginning, in my experience, is that you're constantly doubting yourself. It's always like some days like, oh yeah, I'm bi. As days you start to be like, maybe I'm gay, or maybe I'm straight. And like in that day, I was feeling like a bit like, yeah, maybe I'm gay. So I just looked at her and said, no, I'm gay. So she looks at me and goes, yeah, okay, faggot. And just walks away.
God fucking damn.
And I'm like, wait, what?
Well, I'm glad you said you're gay. That
Yeah.
person is toxic.
Yeah, me too. I was like, what the fuck?
That type of behavior is something you would expect from a neurotypical only. You would not expect that type of behavior, like seeing someone isolated and just enjoying themselves in their environment and feeling like, oh, they're not talking to anyone, so they must be alone and miserable. Let's go talk to them, despite the fact that we have nothing to talk to them about.
Yeah, it's like another.
And then when you actually talk to them and they disagree with you on like one small topic or there's something you don't like about them, basically telling them to fuck off and calling them a slur.
Yeah, it happened so many times as well when I was in class because we had to make group projects, and like sometimes I like everyone would be like silent something, and they would start talking to me like, "Hey, how's your day?" I'll just like start talking about shit, then I'll be like, "Hey, like talk about shit." It's like, "Hey, I was this." I will be talking to them and all that. Then they'll like start to make like talk about the project, but then they'll be like, "Oh, talk about yourself." Or something, and I like would start talking about stuff that I like movies or just ideas that came with my head. They'll just like stare blankly at me, and after I finished, we do like 5 seconds of awkward silence. Then they'll just ignore me. It's like, "You're weird, fuck you," and just keep talking.
It's like talk about yourself, and you start to reveal your hyperfixations, some of the things you enjoy, and all that. And because it's something they can't connect with, they basically go, "Oh, fuck you then."
Yeah. It's like, oh, learning.
That is an incredibly neurotypical behavior.
Yeah. Like, oh, learning something new from people like you don't typically talk to. Nah, fuck that. I want my box. Want to be in my box. You talk about football here. You don't talk about gay shit like movies. Yeah, it's like some of my experiences with neurotypical people. Like,
Great experiences.
yeah. What's your experience?
What bullshit
Jesus.
have you had to deal with?
It's almost the same thing with me. Just usually I had very specific interests that. What?
I wonder why it's the same type of experience.
Fuck off.
Because we have Asperger's.
No, because neurotypical people fucking suck all the same way.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I mean, to be fair.
Guys.
Yeah, I had very specific interests that no one else related to, and to a certain degree, I had a pretty okay interaction with people because from the very beginning I actually surround myself with people that share the same interests as me. But eventually, as the years move on and you start to grow to go to higher grades of school and just your circle of friends changes. By the time I got to the very end of like ninth grade, I only had like one close friend that shared all of the same interests as me. And that person is actually, as far as I know, a neurotypical, but they're a great person. But that's the thing. We connect to some degree, and that's why there's this degree of understanding. Because everyone else around me, that most neurotypicals that didn't understand my interests, they didn't understand me, or they refused to understand me. And there's currently a lot of seething and bad blood between me and some of my former classmates, precisely because of that.
Yeah, I never, I had problems, like not being accepted and all that when I was a kid. I remember being a kid, being like mostly alone. Like the few people I talked to was like nobody here that's not talking. I talked to him, I talked to like some other people randomly, but like that's it. Most of my childhood was spent alone doing my things.
I still remember that we were like in the same class, and
Yes.
for 4 years we didn't talk.
No, we talked sometimes.
Yeah, but I was kind of dumb, and when I was trying to approach to you, I was trying to do dumb stuff. I remember that time I was playing with some scissors, and he was like, "Bruh, stop!" And I was like, eh, and I accidentally cut him.
He's like, I know how I'm going to befriend this man. I'm gonna stab him. Assault! Yeah.
I was just doing this, this, and he accidentally just
Moving around the man, chopping up into the air. Or through the air.
yes, exactly.
Then he looked at me and went,
I was fucking bored, okay? Don't judge me.
and then he looked at me and like, now we are bound by blood.
Yours only.
Only my
Blood
blood.
pact.
You're still gonna have to stab him back to finish
A
the
very
pact.
one-sided blood pact.
You'll be paying for both halves of this agreement.
Yeah. But yeah, then like I went to 5th grade. When I first day of 5th grade, I tried to there were like new kids and all that. And in my head, I was like, okay, I didn't have like any friends until now. Like my whole childhood, I didn't have any friends. Now, I'm going to finally get out there and just try once. And I was like, do I a group of people talking about like Naruto? I just fucking randomly like getting there like, hey, I'm more advanced than you. I read the manga. Everybody, because they're neurotypicals, just like ignored me, like, fuck you, walked away. But then like one guy was like, dude, sick. What happens? What happens in it? And it's like one of my friends, also friends of nobody. And like that's the first time that like I got friends. It's because I randomly just went to a fucking group of people and said, hey, this, and somebody went, yeah, cool, dude. And that's it. And that's and if you're neurodivergent, that's how you make friends. Just walk up to people. It's like, hey, random thoughts.
No.
See their reaction, and if it's bad, just walk away. If it's good, like just stay there. You know, like that's what you do.
In general, the people who respond back to you, even if they don't like the topic, will be the neurodivergent because they understand what it's like being on that side
Yeah.
and trying to just fling out a thought into the world and hope to make some connection.
Sharing each other's hyperfixations.
Yeah.
Also, great.
It's a
Yeah.
wonderful thing.
I mean, I don't have none of my friends like have my exact things that I like.
I do share some of your interest in,
Some-
in movies and films.
I mean, George's.
Mostly the old culture as well.
Oh,
The lost,
okay.
the lost.
Yeah, well, I was. Oh fuck, I had. I had Lost Media when I was a kid. Okay, anyways.
This kid had movies from North Korea
Yeah, that's true.
What?
Yeah,
made in Italy.
yeah. Okay.
And it was an adaptation of.
Like it was a ripoff of the Lion King. It's on YouTube now. You can find it on YouTube. And it's funny. Like when I told you that, I started like thinking to myself like, oh wait, maybe it wasn't that one. Maybe it was another one. So it was a first episode on YouTube. I started watching the opening. 5 seconds in, it fucking hits me like, oh my god! I had a fucking Kim Jong-un produced TV show for kids.
And your mom gave it away to who?
Like some Cape Verdean kids, like a charity thing. Like they didn't like I think they opened up like a school and they want like shit for the kids. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna give it to them. And I was like, yeah, okay, because I thought it was a random fucking show. They're like, no, it was produced by Kim Jong Un. It's like, fuck.
So yeah,
Gold.
this
That was
Portuguese guy donated a North Korean animated TV series produced in Italy to kids in a African third world country, I believe,
Yes.
called Cabo Verde.
Yeah. Cape Verde.
Basically.
Yeah.
Cape Verde.
What a fucking story.
Okay, so we hit part 2 of the podcast,
Part-
where we've changed locations temporarily and we've come back.
No, we didn't get back to the other place. We stayed at the other place.
Yes. So anyways, we were talking about Enasir. That fucking salesman. I
No.
still remember when that asshole sold me a bunch of shitty coppers. Fuck that guy.
You remember when you sold him shitty copper?
Yeah.
I remember when I sold him shitty copper.
You motherfucker.
There's also this very cool story about Roman bread salesmen.
What
They
did they
had-
do?
No, just several. To be a valid bread salesman, a baker in Rome,
shit.
you needed seals. And there were people who forged their own seals, people who sold shitty bread, like the dough was... Some people mixed sawdust in the dough.
Didn't they also like undercut the dough with
Yeah,
less
exactly.
weight?
Exactly.
And they fucking did that by like carving a tiny hole in the middle of the board they used to roll the
Yes.
dough, so like a little bit would drip out.
Exactly. And if you were caught doing that the first time, you get like notified by the authorities and be like, don't fucking do that again. If you were caught doing it a second time, you were put in a fucking cart with the shitty bread on top of you and wheeled off out of the fucking city.
Wasn't
it on a
hill?
Yeah.
Or on a mountain?
At least it was far away from the city. And that tradition continued on with cheesemakers somewhere. Like, they also got, like, fucking yeeted along with cheese. Speaking of, did you know that the idiom of selling snake oil is actually very literal?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it comes from Asia.
Oh, is it? Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was from the American Midwest.
No, it started in Asia. Then the American Midwest decided, hey, let's do the same thing, because it involved selling exotic animal products, like by the Asian salesman to the Westerners that arrived at their places, like the markets that they established in China and Japan and shit
Like
like
we
that.
still do today.
And they're like, oh, we made this from elephant tusk, this dust that makes you horny all the time. Here's wolf.
Hard all the time.
Like tiger penis. It also helps you
It makes you get longer.
longer, and other stuff that would also make you improve your lifestyle in general.
Supposedly.
And snake oil, which is like oil made from various viscera from snakes, was involved in it as well, and it was like the biggest.
You know, as they say, if you eat your cabbage, you're immune to COVID.
So like snake oil is like penis enlargement pills.
Yes.
that you see on like Pornhub.
Listen, thousands of years have gone by, but humanity is still the same.
Yeah.
Except there are some pills that do actually work.
Really?
Enlargement pills, not really. Unless you take a fuck ton of testosterone, maybe that will work. I don't know.
I didn't say they were specific what kind of pills they were. Just said there were some pills that did work. And you know what also works?
What?
Cutting off your balls.
That shrinks
What?
it.
No, eunuchs.
That
They get
shrinks it.
buff as fuck.
No.
Gets hard.
And carry stones and build fucking pyramids.
No.
What?
Also, the percentage of slaves used to build the pyramids wasn't that big.
Yeah. Most of them were salary men
Yeah.
and farmers who did temp jobs. They planted their crops, they took care of them for a little while, then they went off to build the pyramids for like a period of like 2 weeks. Like you went in a batch of like 2 weeks, and then you came back, and then maybe you could go again or not, depending on what your situation was. But you would go in teams that lasted for 2 weeks and come back.
Coming back to the penises, you know, like remember that meme of like they're putting chemicals in the water that makes the frogs gay.
Yes.
So okay, that's not true, but that's not false either.
Exactly.
What the chemical did was make toads hermaphrodites, or that's
Actually,
the word.
no. It did none of that. You know what I actually did?
What?
The process was so dumb that
Yeah.
of like their research. You know what they considered a gay behavior for a frog?
Yeah.
Two frogs basically sitting together. Like if a
No,
frog
no, that's not
was
the-
like on top
that's
of
not the
another one
stuff.
just sitting there, that was considered a gay behavior.
No, that's not.
That was
the-
literally the statistic used.
No, that's not the study I'm talking about. I'm talking about a study that said that made the frogs hermaphrodites. Like it made male frogs get ovaries, and I think made female frogs get penises. Like the gayness has nothing to do with it. Just like it just made that. And the thing is, there is no no study that indicates that causes that chemical causes gayness in either frogs or humans. But it has a side effect on children, like babies specifically. You know what it is?
What?
Micro penises.
So that's why Alex John is so mad.
Yes,
He's pissed.
he's pissed at the baby's penis is
dare
too
they-
small.
How dare they have done that to me years ago?
How could they?
You know,
They're having fun with
what the
little
fuck
kids.
is it
all of a
with
sudden
every
I think
Alex
you
and
have
being
fun.
deranged?
What?
What the fuck is it with every Alex and being deranged?
There are some.
You're
Alexes-
deranged, I'm deranged, Alex Jones is deranged.
no, no, like
Alexander the Great wasn't deranged. He was just gay.
yeah,
He's a little deranged.
kind of.
Not the same thing, but
Yeah, I don't know. I think like Alex Jones once said, dude, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kinda retarded. That's just Alex's.
fuck everyone named Alex.
That's just as, you know,
There's Alexa.
and Alexa. There's
Well-
Alexa as well.
Alexa is spying on you.
Yeah.
It's not the only way they're spying on you, but you know.
I love the people that are like, they're gonna use 5G to spy on you. It's
Like you already
you're
have a
already-
recording device in your pocket.
Yeah, they're gonna take all of our information. They're already doing that. Like, how the fuck do you think that you get targeted ads?
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't know. They're just fucking.
I like the fact. I love
imagine.
the fact that my ads aren't targeted, or if they are, they just so deranged because of all the shit I searched that they can't target anything. I'm getting ads for following Jesus, talking with the apostles, as in calling a hotline and supposedly you're talking with the apostles in the ad hotline. I'm getting ads for like there's single women in your area on YouTube, which is fucking weird.
Yeah.
To get
How
that,
the fuck do you get this?
I don't know.
I also sometimes get like.
I get ads of like, hey, invest in crypto.
I get ads of like. When you watch porn. Cheating websites. As in, you have a wife, but you want to have an affair? Here, look at this website. And I'm like,
You're not even in a
I'm
relationship.
not even in a relationship. And I'm not even a middle-aged man. And I'm on fucking YouTube watching a dude build a car of Legos. What the hell?
Like, they just assume, like, oh, you like Legos? Okay, so you're middle aged, you hate your family, you hate your wife.
And none of them are like every time I see an ad, it's completely the opposite of what it's related to the video. It's like if I see something like a documentary or anything, I don't even get like an ad for cryptocurrency, which would make a little more sense. No, I get like, oh, there's single MILFs in your area or whatever the fuck. It's like when I'm watching like YouTube videos, I get like, YouTube videos of like a video game or something. I get the cryptocurrency ads, and when I'm like watching shit that's just like plain fucking weird, that's when I get video game ads.
Like, you,
Like
actually, there's
I'm
one.
watching a video that's completely deranged, and I get an ad for Raid Shadow Legends.
And games with ads as well. I like it. Like 50% of them are crypto ads. Another 50% of them are like those stupid game ads. They're like, oh my god, this is so fucking difficult. This level is so hard. And some of them are actually impossible. Like, you can't actually solve this level. And you're like, oh my god, can you solve this? And I'm like, no, bitch. That's shitty level design.
Oh, no, you know what I get?
It is perfectly made to be hated, and to force you to go into the game and try it for yourself. It's the logic.
Now, the ones I get are
Fucking
like.
sucks. That should be illegal.
The ads I get,
Like our spikes, like we're fucking occupied.
Spite advertisement should be illegal.
Oh, by the way,
yeah,
you know what the plural of octopus is?
octopi.
It's not octopi.
Octopenis?
No, it's a Greek word. So,
Octopussy.
octopodus.
That's not the English though.
I don't care, it's octopodus.
That's the real fucking name.
From, 8 feet.
Fucking.
Shouldn't it be Octopedis then?
No.
It should be octopenis. Just saying.
Listen,
Technically,
It's
we
more
get it, you
marketable.
like hentai.
Okay.
technically,
It's more marketable.
okay,
Alright.
so technically an octopus doesn't have 8 legs. It
it has 7 and
no, it has 2 legs and 6 arms.
well, technically yes.
Because they walk
Walk
around
mostly on 2.
on 2 of the tentacles and coil the other 6.
Yeah.
And another fun fact about octopus, they punch fish out of spite.
Yes. Every study that's made about octopuses shows that they're just assholes.
Yeah, exactly. They're the only
you.
other animal in the animal kingdom that feels spite besides the human.
As far as we know.
As far as we know, yeah.
What the fuck?
As for
Maybe dogs.
you might think, oh yeah, dolphins are smart. No, dolphins don't feel spite. They are
Horny, rapey,
perverts,
Yeah.
and awful.
rapists,
And they also get
Yeah.
high.
and they get high on pufferfish.
Yes. And you know how they do that?
Oh.
They purposefully
They
go bother
purposely like punch it with their nose for it to sting them.
to
Yeah.
puff up
Because
and things.
because they're so large
Yeah.
that there's not enough venom to kill them, so they just get high because the venom is a neurotoxin. So
And
it just causes them to get high, and
And
they do it for
sometimes
fun.
you will find dolphins tossing pufferfish to one another.
Yeah.
With their
They
nose.
literally pass it like a ball.
Fucking blunt. Like,
passing it up,
like,
like
oh
passing
no.
blunt.
Yeet. Then the other goes, oh, can you give it back? I need a bit more. Okay. Fucking
Dolphins
pass.
that are used to humans like to fuck with surfers as well.
Yeah.
As in, they just put the dorsal fin out of the water. The surfer's like, oh shit, a shark! Fall out of the board, and the dolphin will come up and start laughing at them. This is shit that surfers report that happens.
What the
The
fuck?
dolphins just come out like, ah!
They will also,
Ah, fucking
they
ass
will
off.
also see you swimming,
Yeah.
grab you by the feet, drag you to the bottom of the ocean just to see you like flail up and try to swim back into the surface because they think it's funny.
Yeah.
So you'll eventually drown it.
So,
As the dolphin like drags you away like a child like playing with a snail.
so like octopuses are like old curmudgeon assholes, and dolphins are like stoner stoner dudes.
No, they're rapists.
Rape. Okay.
They're basically crackheads.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, they're fucking crackheads.
They're crackheads. And octopi are
Old,
boomers.
old spiteful bastards.
Boomers.
Octopi are boomers.
Same kids, get on my property.
Fuck off. You fucking sardine
We
cunts.
started on these shitty salesmen, and we ended up on Sea Life. Amazing.
It's very relatable.
No neurotypical will be able to do this.
Exactly.
Back to
Get
the beginning
that.
topic.
Get some fucking range in you.
Oh, speak of neurotypicals, when we had the intermission,
Yeah.
me and nobody, we were talking about other shit, mostly Breaking Bad, because I'm watching Breaking Bad and I'm on season 3. But then we talked about a thing that neurotypicals do. The thing that they do is like when they give you a task and you like start doing it in your own way, because you think of it like, okay, no, this makes way more sense. You start doing it. And they start fucking yelling at you or being like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? That's wrong. That's not how you do it. But then, like, the moment you finish and you prove, like, no, you can't do it this way. They just
And
go,
it's better. And faster.
yeah, they just go, oh, okay, and fucking walk away. And no, and they
Never apologize.
never
And they're
apologize.
still spiteful of you.
Yeah,
That happens at work a lot.
And it happens in every factory.
They're just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. And I'm like, okay, fuck you, fuck off.
It's like, what are you doing? Improving everything you've ever done.
because you're a fucking
better.
boof.
Because you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
You're right, but fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm right. No, you're not.
My
Fuck you.
mom, every time I'm like helping her tidy the table, and she's also neurodivergent, but she doesn't know it. Never bothered to check, but
Yeah.
it's clear. It's like, oh, why do you bring all the drinks like one at each time and leave them on the table, and I'll put them on the fridge? And I'm like, I bring them all to the table, and then I put them all in the fridge, so that I don't have to open the fridge too many times.
Yeah, fuck yes. What the fuck?
Each time, she's like, why do you do that? And I'm like, man,
What the fuck?
explained this before. It's tactical.
Yeah. Like my mom, like she's not as neurotypical because she was the one that found out I was neurodivergent. Because when I was
Basically, she looked at you and went, the fuck's wrong with this?
literally.
Fix it.
No, she was like, okay, like she tried to, like the usual, like just fucking yell at him and thing, but it didn't work. So she was just like, oh, you know what? They recommended me like a psychologist. I'm just gonna put in like a child psychologist and see what happens.
Shrink.
Oh, shrink. Okay, whatever. Turns out I was like very autistic, and not very autistic, mildly autistic, and had Asperger's. And she was like,
psychiatrist.
yeah, it's like just go to the fucking psychiatrist. Like, what's the issue? Just go there and see what's wrong with you. Why not?
Also, the fact that your mom hid that away from you for several years.
Oh yeah, she fucking told me last year. But the thing is, I already
You
kind
were
of knew
diagnosed when?
Huh?
When were you diagnosed?
when I was 6,
And you found out when you were?
20,
Okay, sure.
Right.
That's wonderful.
Well,
14 years. I fucking
14 years of like,
You
hey, we know what's
discovered
wrong
it
with you,
earlier,
we're not gonna
Yeah,
tell you.
I mean, I kind of found out early because I just fucking figured it out.
Yeah, because,
Like-
you know, there's something called symptoms.
Exactly.
Like
and internet also.
Just the
my first grade teacher,
Yeah.
who was her entire degree was dealing with children.
Yeah.
and being able to point out these kinds of issues in children.
Didn't
It's like she looked at my parents and went, "Your son has autism." They're like, "No, it doesn't." It
doesn't.
took me to a fucking psychologist to be like, just to hear from a psychologist that I didn't have autism. They were like, "Let's look for someone who doesn't believe in autism, so that
What the fuck?
their child doesn't have autism."
Ah, yes.
Now I have autism and I'm no longer a boy, so fuck them.
Yeah, exactly. But like,
You're an eldritch creature. Practical.
Yeah.
you're what H.P. Lovecraft feared the most.
I have.
LGBT.
Black people.
Yeah.
I love his books actually. Too bad he was a racist.
Apparently, it got better. Like,
Yeah, eventually he got better. He got pussy, so he got better.
yeah, and one of his his best friend was gay.
Hey, listeners,
And-
I have a test for you. Look up H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Because it's not just the fact that it's a slur. It's a slur, but with extra spice. It's like Mr. Slur.
Yeah,
No, it's even worse than that because
it's
Mr.
Slurman. It's
Oh, right,
Slurman.
yeah, it had the men.
Fucking hell.
My book actually does make reference. It's in Portuguese.
Yeah.
It has references to the cat
Yeah.
because Lovecraft talked about the cat in some of his stories. It's as well color and like inho.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Jesus.
yeah, basicamente.
Yeah. I mean, there's fucking H.P. Lovecraft books that don't fucking explain that. Like the whole racial aspect, it's just like ignore this. Like, don't talk about it. Just ignore it.
Speaking of racism, people are stupid because people in America wanted to ban Huckleberry Finn,
Yeah.
a book that is openly anti-racist about
Yeah.
the racist remarks in the book.
Yeah.
And they're like,
It's like, oh, Huckleberry Finn's racist. It's literally about a kid who goes,
against
if you help a black person, you'll go to hell. Fine, I'll go to hell, but I'll help the person who I cherish.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it says the N-word, but the whole point of it, it's like, he doesn't know better. And he
Exactly.
learns better.
It's not even that he doesn't know better. That's the term for them, so he uses it,
Yeah.
and he doesn't believe it to have any bad connotation to it
Yeah.
because he just proved the bad connotations himself.
Yeah, because he's a fucking kid. He doesn't. If I genuinely thinks that's the name of it. It's fucking funny the fact that Huckleberry Finn is like in the West. He's mostly known like Europe, and he's mostly known as like Tom Sawyer's sidekick.
yeah,
Meanwhile, in America, it's like this big like character, and you're just like, oh, he was in the Tom Sawyer anime.
yeah, exactly. Comes our anime
Yeah.
by Studio Ghibli.
Yes. Okay, not Studio Ghibli. They had a different name.
Yeah, it was like.
Yeah, but it
the
was.
Hayao was
It
there.
was Hayao Miyazaki. So
Yeah, Miyazaki was there.
yeah.
A lot of these old school cartoons were Hayao Miyazaki stuff.
Yeah.
Like Maya.
Conan
My-
the Future Boy.
Conan and the Future Boy.
Please, like
Which
that
got-
fucking opening was in Japanese, so you got it like. You get it, yeah. It's entirely anime.
Yeah.
Like Tom Sawyer had an opening
In
dubbed in
Portuguese.
Portuguese, and in every other country had it.
And he
dubbed
looked
in
a
their
little
language.
cartoonish, but
Yeah.
it was clearly made by
No,
a...
yeah.
Maya, fucking the little girl that is orphaned that lives with her grandpa.
Heidi.
Heidi. Heidi. He does also Miyazaki stuff. The
Yeah.
one that aired on TV when our parents were.
It wasn't just Miyazaki, it was a directorial debut of Isao Takahata, which is the guy that made Grave of the Fireflies. It was his first directing project,
Exactly.
making Heidi.
By the way, Porco Rosso, great movie. I love it.
To all the
Oh, okay.
listeners, please watch Conan the Future Boy. It's
Yeah.
a wonderful series that still holds up to this day.
It got re-released in 4K.
It got re-released in 4K?
Yes, because Disney,
watch it.
because Disney dropped the rights of the Ghibli stuff because they had the rights of Ghibli material. They dropped it, so there's another studio. Like they dropped it because like, oh, it's not that like merchandise or some shit.
They're stupid.
Yeah,
Because the
and guess
whole
what?
point of Conan the Future Boy is
Fuck corporations.
Yeah.
fuck corporations, fuck like divisions of people. Just be one as a group
Yeah, and like,
hate fascism.
Conan the Future Boy is, interestingly, one of the inspirations for one of Akira Toriyama's side works related to Dragon Ball, which was Jackal the Patrolman.
Didn't know that.
The old man on the fucking isolated island, and this guy that appears out of nowhere to help the old man. Pretty much, it's that.
Yeah.
It's Conan, but with an alien instead of a random kid, and an old scientist instead of an old war criminal.
Wait, do you mean his grandfather or do you mean
The old man that lives with Conan on the island. Is his grandfather?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, pretty much.
Man.
An old astronaut / war criminal.
He's not a war criminal. I don't think they were involved in the war.
He was a
There's
general.
Was he?
I think so. Either that or I'm confusing with the sandboy again.
You might be confusing it with someone else, because
I'm-
as far as I'm aware, they were just scientists and they tried to escape in a rock.
But the big fish!
What big fish?
There was a big fish on the island that was or like a shark or some shit that was continuously pestering Conan and the grandpa.
What about it?
There's a giant fish in Jackal that is pestering the old man on the island.
Oh.
So yeah, there's that. That I know for sure because I reread recently Jackal.
And to all of the listeners, please do watch Conan the Future Boy. If you watch the first and the second episode, you will cry.
I haven't watched it, but it's on my watch list because it's Miyazaki, and his work is amazing.
So, we've changed locations yet again.
Yes, now we are in an abandoned parking lot.
With a lot of people
Yeah,
around us.
I guess that
the souls of the damned.
Yeah.
it's a wonderful place. I'm going shopping. That's why we're here, looking for the souls of the damned.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Souls
what
of
we're
capitalists who never moved on.
shopping. Yes.
They're still on that grind set, years after they've perished.
Yeah. But so, because we are going to get busy, it's the end of the podcast. You can find us nowhere else. Because
Fuck you.
because we don't have...
Come back here or go home.
Like and subscribe and wait for the next episode. That will come out eventually.
Whenever
What?
we feel like it.
Yeah, basically.
You have no say.
Unless you give us money. In that case, sure.
Maybe.
Maybe. If you give us enough money to the point where this becomes our jobs.
Exactly.
Which will never happen because only Joe is listening to this.
Yeah.
Fucking weirdo. Well, okay. And that's it. Bye.